Hello again, Andy with Handy Andy Handyman, Handy Andy on Demand. Welcome back to another project run through, and we're out in Town Lake today in Eagles Landing doing a bit over here. We do so much work over here. The house before was just over here too. So we're looking at a project for Mark here. They called us out for some rotted trim. They don't realize on this chimney, they had this part of this chimney redone probably 3 or 4 years ago, I'm guessing. And this isn't Hardy plank. This is Nichihana siding. It's just cheaper, and if you don't specify James Hardy siding, that's not what you're going to get. So they did a decent job. Whoever did this, they lined up the bottom edges really well. You can see what they did wrong. So like here on this corner board, see the angle cut? So they tried to make a weather cut, but it's backwards. It should be this way. And so now any water that gets through this failed caulk, it goes right into the chimney chase. But what's worse about it is if you look up at this gutter up here, you'll see where the siding is crumbling and delaminating. There's no kick-out flashing. And there's so much water coming through this side and the right side that it's actually crumbled this gutter. So if I were, or the siding, so if I was to go up there and put my finger on that piece right there, it would just crumble and fall apart. So they've got about 22 or 23 rows on this left side of the chimney is all LP siding still. 27 rows on the face. Those need to be replaced. You see how swelled up it is right there? See how dark the bottom edge? Same thing, it's wood chips and glue. So at this point, if you put your finger in it, it's gonna go right through. And then over here, on the right side of the chimney, you can kind of see the same thing. They did this backwards angle cut here instead of the other way, 45 the other way. And this is another problem that we're running into with a lot of these contractors doing this kind of work. They're using cheap caulk. And so see what happened just in a few years? So every time it rains, where do you think that water's going? Zoop, right inside. That's exactly right. And you can see what happens here on this piece. So that's Nichi siding up there against that gutter. That's not LP, and there's no kick-out flashing. So the kick-out flashing bridges the gap between the gutter and the siding. And right now, every time it rains, the water's been getting in between the two, and it's literally just crumbled that siding out. So the boys will fix that. The right side, whenever you're walking around your house, and some of the stuff you'll see in so many videos, the flashing up here was cut short by the builder. It should have been 3/4 inch to 1.5 inches past the outside edge of this brick mold. So every time it rains, water wicks down right here to the bottom. And see this wrinkling right here? See that? You can literally start to put your finger right through this thing. Look. So I made it just a little cut with my finger right there. And actually, if you look close enough, you can see the carpenter ants have been in it. See this little circle right here? This is ants right here, that hole, and down here. They love it wet. And so here, someone's come through, they replaced this nose with vinyl. They replaced this piece of brick metal over here as vinyl. And this is why we don't use vinyl, because now the water's getting behind this side too. See the gap in the flashing up there? But because this is plastic, or vinyl, it's never going to rot to let you know, like this one. Oh, by the way, Andy, I got to fix this. So instead of a $90 repair issue here, eventually if this was all vinyl and it went bad, you could have a $10,000 repair issue over here between termites and ants and mold. It's just a lot easier to stay away from the vinyl. We never use vinyl repairs, ever. So the repairs you're going to see on this house are all pretty typical of what we do. And this is a homeowner that's really conscientious and trying to stay on top of stuff. The painters haven't been doing a real good job on it. So if you look at this front window, you're going to see a lot of this kind of stuff. See the streaking here? There's no kick-out flashing at this gutter. What they did, he had an issue where they came out, the roofers put a piece of kick-out flashing above this gutter, but they never addressed this area here. So what's happened is every time it rains, see the gap up top up here, right here? Water's wicking through. So this whole piece of brick mold and this whole piece of inside frame is rotted out. So in that part of the window, we got to replace the whole piece. See the framing right here? If I put my fingers in the sill too, you're going to see how soft this is. See right here? See the wrinkling? See? My finger goes in. There's nothing left. So when we have rot like this all the way through, and it goes to the right corner, we'll replace this whole piece of sill. This piece right here is a mulling piece. You're going to see it's rotted on some of his windows. Don't get talked into new windows. A lot of contractors will come out with this customer and the condition of his windows and the age. They're going to talk to you about energy efficiency and why it's better off to replace your windows. Don't replace your windows in the South unless they're super, super bad. Ask us. We sell new windows too. We'd much rather fix this stuff. It's more cost effective. When you get to a piece of nose like this one right here, it's already been replaced once by his last contractor. And instead of getting a solid piece all the way through, he angle cut it here to piece it. And all it does is guarantee that the water, now that the caulk has failed, is leaking inside the window cavity. We'll replace this nose with one solid piece all the way through. And if you use cheap caulk, it's going to fail. Use premium stuff, $5, $6 a tube. It'll last forever as long as you keep things painted. His garage windows have similar issues. This window right here, they'll come in like dentists. My guys are master carpenters. We'll router out the bad wood in this window and fix it with real wood, and then replace this strip across the top. That's rotted through. But most of his windows are in good shape. This window over here has the same issue. The bottom mullion, you see, it doesn't look so bad from here. Get up closer on the window. See it? See my finger? See the rot? You can push right through right here. And it's all because the painters didn't caulk, and it's just getting water exposure over time. So he's at a point now where we can come back and give him a price to just caulk and paint all the trim. The stucco's in pretty good shape. This side of the house, just above this garage right here, this window right here has got 3 rotted mullions on it, and that nose is rotted. See the rot in the left corner right there? We'll replace that piece as well. He's got a beautiful house. I mean, he's got, if you lived here, you'd never leave this house. One of these gutters, I forget which one, it's up on this side over here, is pulled away, I think from the front entry. Here he's got the same issue on this mullion right here on the left side. See this piece right here? Takes me a minute to get around all these places, so bear with me. And he's got a little rot at the front entry. I didn't go up to it just because the puppies are barking and raising Cain. Most everything back here is in pretty good shape. When you get up on the back side of the house, hopefully we can see it in this weather. The sun, I mean, it's beautiful now. It was pouring early today. See the line in this dog ear? This triangle up here is called the dog ear. This is pieced in wood and it's rotted now. So when the builders build these houses, they just take scrap and make a dog ear out of it to close in the ends. We go ahead and replace these with solid pieces, 1x12s, back primed and sealed. This one you can see is a little more wrinkled and rotted over here. So we'll take care of that one as well. Most of the back of the house is in pretty good shape. He's got a little bit of siding at this back basement down here that we'll be able to show you in a second. You know, we're bidding all this stuff from the ground for the most part. But when the guys come out, they'll break out the ladders and come through. So the very back of the house down here, see this bottom piece of siding? And it's really because the last painters or whoever's painted, the water's coming over this gutter. You can use this to clean your gutters. People don't realize that, but we'll clean gutters. See it streaking across the top? So it just lets you know all the water splashing at the top. And when it splashes here on this concrete pad, it's got nowhere to go except against the house. The painters never painted this bottom edge of siding. So it's just that one piece of LP is rotted. The rest of his siding, he's been really good about keeping this house painted. So this is LP siding back here, and they actually hand painted this stuff and painted the bottom edge. So he knows good work. The problem with the chimney is whoever did the chimney is not the same contractor, or they just cheated. None of that siding was painted at the bottom. That's why it's all rotted out now. So we'll replace it and fix it. When the boys come out, they can add some new hinges to this gate back here and just make it serviceable. He probably never uses it. It's hard to believe my brother and I have been doing this stuff for 26 years in Atlanta now. It makes me sick. You can figure out how old I am, or how young I try to be, I guess. But we got a good crew of about 30 guys. It's my brother and myself. We do everything from pretty much everything in a house except this, a swimming pool, and air conditioning. Everything else, we do roof repairs, we do trim, siding, paint, a little bit of everything. You can find us at 770-912-2829. Sometimes you can catch me at 770-265-9017. I'm Andy. See you at the next house. Bye for now.